Hello friends, welcome to Learn English with Carol. Our today's topic is conflict resolution, a must in our day-to-day life. Do you remember a recent disagreement that you had? And can you try to jot down by default how do you actually try to resolve that conflict? It is really important to understand our way of dealing with any situation. Before going to conflict resolution, let's try to talk about conflicts. So, when I say conflicts, what do you understand? The misunderstandings, the disagreements, disputes that you have between people. And it's there every day, right, in our day to day lives. And how we are dealing with it. It's really important. But why are these differences? It is definitely because of lot of things that revolve around us. To sum up, we would probably talk about a few. The first one that's important that we are going to emphasize on is as people we have different viewpoints. So there is difference in opinion, viewpoints, and this is why lot of people will have conflicts in the way they actually live their lives. Coming to the second one is the biases or stereotypes that we have. If you see in the earlier times, there was differences in the caste system, and because of that, people tend to have conflicts. And now is because of the lifestyle that there are conflicts. We perceive lifestyle to be a way, of richness, and that is leading to a lot of conflicts. Or it could also be that these days we have conflicts related to Gen Zs. So these differences that we have are leading to disagreements. Okay, and that's why we need to resolve them so that we tend to have a good relationship. Now, coming to biases and stereotypes. You see a lot of stereotypes. Like earlier, women were not taken into consideration on a higher post, or men who worked under her were not able to give their best because they were not able to tolerate a woman being the head or who is going to control them. But you see the today's scenario, what has happened? It has completely changed. Women have taken roles, lead roles, and men also are handling it with, the same way. So things have changed gradually. So when we say conflicts, there should be conflicts. Without there won't be, such a vibe in life. And we need to understand that conflicts are a part of life. But the way we deal with this is how, it will have impact in our lives. So let's try to talk about each of the strategy of conflict resolution. The first approach that we are going to talk about is avoiding. Most often, when we feel that that particular situation is not related to us, or it does not have any impact in our lives, or maybe it's also not related to our goals, we feel it's better avoiding. That's what we do, right? Let's try to talk about loudspeakers. For different functions and events, people tend to use loudspeakers late at nights. You get distracted, you are disturbed, but do you go and fight with the people? Not really. We try, let it be. We don't bother about it. We might sit at home, we might complain, we'll feel irritated, frustrated, but then we let it go. And this is how we are avoiding the situation. Why is it? It's only because we don't actually connect with the people who are using it, or it's also not related to our goal. They will keep the loudspeaker for a day or a two and then leave it. Okay, and in such circumstances, we don't want to, get into fights. That's also one reason why we avoid. So, avoiding is one strategy that has been adopted. Coming to the second method that's important is competing. Now imagine a person who is actually, goal oriented. He's so focused that he wants to achieve that particular thing. And we see this in day to day lives, okay, in different competitions. Okay, that particular person has come in that particular competition just because he wants to win it. And when his goal is to achieve what he wants, will he be bothered about other people around? No. He's more focused on achieving the goal. And that's when he might use his own strategies. At times, you see some people who are so goal oriented, they tend to hurt people around them. Here, their main focus is just getting what they want, and they are not interested in building relationship with people. And that's why competing is only winning for yourself. What we say being selfish about oneself, but I'll not say selfish, it is something that you desire. And when you want something, you're not worried of what the other people around you are thinking. And this is how competing is one strategy that has been adopted by people. The third strategy that we are going to emphasize on is accommodating. When I say accommodating, here it is relationships. We treasure the relationships that we have. It could be our parents, our siblings, our kids, people around us. When we feel that valuing the relationship is important, what we do? Our goal, our aspirations take a back foot. And this is what we do. So whenever we are doing this, what happens? Sometimes we feel disappointed. Sometimes we feel ignored. And that's why somewhere you feel you are at a loss. So when it comes to accommodating, you are trying to keep your relationships first. But in that situation, it could also happen that you are at a loss. You will feel bad about it or have guilt or regret about that particular situation. So if you think you want to, it should be your choice. Coming to the fourth strategy that's actually emphasizing on is compromise. Now, when I say compromise, what do you understand? Definitely willing to agree, but then when this agreement is happening, both the teams are trying to let go of some of the things that they want. Okay, and they willingly come to an agreement. So when they are doing this, they are definitely going to work it out. Yes, but are they going to give their best? Not really. Why? Because they have, left some part of what they believed. Okay, let's try to talk about a situation wherein a fresher is applying for a job. Now, as a fresher coming from an engineering background, the student is expecting a salary of 12 lakhs per annum. But we see a lot of companies offering merely 6 to 7 lakhs. So now when that student or that fresher sees this amount, he will definitely feel disappointed. I have been spending so much amount of money on my education and I'm just getting pennies. This could be a way of disappointment. But then if the company sees some good skill sets in that particular student, and just because they feel that that student has potential, they increase the salary to 8 to 9 lakhs. Yes, in this situation, even the company is compromising. If their budget was 6 lakhs, but when they saw someone who is actually having potential, they increased it to 9 lakhs. But is the fresher really happy? No, because he has still not got his expectation. Okay, so here there's a compromise between the two teams. Now, when this particular student will be working in this company, he will actually work dedicatedly, not a problem. But down the line, maybe in 3 months, he gets another offer which is more than 12 lakhs. He'll instantly think about it because his priority is money and he is going to get something that he wants. The company is at loss because a candidate they they invested so much money, after a few months has left the company. So they have to again do the process. So if they had initially given the salary that they had expected, okay, the company would have been at a profit because the student might have not left the company. Why? Because he felt that the company has given him the 12 lakhs he expected. And even if he gets double the salary, his moral allowance would let him work with the company for a few more years. So, this is how compromise, even if we say it's trying to get together on some terms, it's disappointing. It's a lose lose strategy for both the teams. And that's why it's important that in workplaces, in any organization, we focus on this fifth strategy, that's collaborating, which I mentioned in the previous one, that if the company had given 12 lakhs to that particular student when they had seen the potential, what would have happened? They have collaborated. They have agreed with the student or with the fresher that yes, you want 12 lakhs, you deserve it, and they are giving it. And even because that particular fresher has pledged to the company, he's going to work, he's going to ensure that he is going to give his best. So, when we are saying collaborating, we are just not focusing on relationships, we are also focusing on the growth of each other. So, in collaboration, it's two-way approach. We are working for both of them together, even if it takes some extra efforts to be done. And that's why I feel that collaboration would be the best strategy that could be employed in any situation. So, whenever you feel lost in life, or whenever you feel you want to negotiate, or you want something that you deserve, start emphasizing on collaborating with people so that you make the best out of it. The other strategies also would be applicable depending on the importance of that particular situation. Whether the relationship is something that's important or it's the goal that you want to achieve in your life. So always remember, conflict isn't a threat. It is something that will teach you. But pause, reflect, evaluate. What are you going to do and what are its consequences? And this way, you would resolve the conflict in a better way. Do comment some of the conflict strategies you used and how it has actually paved your way in career. Thank you so much. Stay tuned to this channel for more such videos.